What is going on, everybody? Back at you again with this another episode and edition of this Move the Chains podcast with your man and the host, Sam McIntyre. I'm repping my new t-shirt, Stone Cold. Hell yeah, brother! Stone Cold Stunner. Can't get enough. So, I want to talk today about last night's game, NFC preview again of the Niners just beating this Cowboy ass. I loved it last night. I figured it was going to happen. Stylistically, Dallas is a soft football team. You know you hate saying that, but they are. I wanted to dive into that. And the Niners getting back on track just in the nick of time before their bye week. And the Cowboys got some answers to do. Of course they do. They're the Cowboys. Fuck around, you're going to find out. There we go. So I wanted to dive into that, both sides of it, like I always do in my post-game predictions. I also wanted to get into the circus I read about this week with the Cowboys and their tours and what the fuck's going on there. And then I wanted to dive into the Lions. Mike Kesnick knows this pretty well. This football team, I've never seen a more balanced team in my lifetime than this one right now. I'd have to go back a long time. So I wanted to hop into that and what I just think. I know lately I've been doing Lions domination because they've just been kicking everybody's ass. I know it was the Titans, and I know they're not very good, but they look impressive yesterday, although they're outgained a little bit early on in that game. So not great performance overall, but then just total overdrive and dominating game. So I wanted to hop into what I meant to talk about this right at the top of this thing today about the Cowboys-Niners in Santa Clara last night. So on the Niners, on the Cowboys side of it, what are you doing? Gotta go. You know, this is what happens. You overpay for Dak. You know, it's just not a good look right now. I think they're gonna do a fire sale. They gotta do a reboot this team. Now, would I fire Mike McCarthy? I would not. Listen, I know that he's stale, and I get it. I would not fire McCarthy. I think he's a lame duck. I think this Jerry Jones, he's running the whole show. So, and when this happens with owners, and I'm really starting to see it with Jerry, he's starting to remind me a lot of Al Davis. And they're both kind of the same. They're both Mavericks. They both kind of against the grain. They've been great in the marketing. You know, Jerry played college football at Arkansas with his oil money. And listen, he's had a lot of success. And I'm not going to dispute what they've done. But it's been 30 years since they've been in an NFC Championship game. And a lot of that is on Jerry. He is so stubborn. He's ignorant. I don't think he sees it. He doesn't feel it. He's so into himself. I think the Cowboys are done. I think they're toast. I don't know what happens from here. I just think there's too much distraction going on when you're a Cowboy player. And obviously the biggest brand in football in the world. Worth $13 billion, I believe, according to Forbes. And then obviously the two biggest brands are in the NFC. It's Packers, Cowboys. They've been doing it a long time. Pittsburgh, I'm recording this Pittsburgh Giant game's going on right now, and I'll give you guys my post-game reaction tomorrow, what I witnessed in that game. But Dallas has just got a lot of question marks to me. You know, again, I've always been a fan of Mike McCarthy. He won a Super Bowl in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. He's a good coach. He's won a lot. Now, is he elite? No, but I think he's better than what most of the league has. I'd take him over Nick Sirianni right now. I'd take him over Sean McDermott maybe, because obviously McCarthy's got a Super Bowl. So I think the Cowboys, to me, last night, they're a soft football team. And they're not building this thing the right way. They're not building it in the lines of scrimmage like the Cowboys did in the 90s when they had the triplets, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and those boys. And they had a dominant run game with Emmitt Smith and an offensive line, the Great Wall of Dallas. You could not get through them. They don't have that right now. And they've had a really good offensive line ever since Dak's been there. And last night, they don't have that. They don't have a dominating run game. They don't have a run game. I mean, why the hell did you brought back Zeke like that was going to solve anything? You're a dope and a drunk if you think that's going to help. So it didn't last night. And Dak, listen, he's fine. He's Kirk Cousins with a Jordan brand, okay? That's what he is, okay? He's going to get you 10, 11 wins, but he's just got that ceiling. You hit it, and it's over. So I'm just not bought in on Dallas. I haven't been for the last 17 years. I've said this ever since. The accident waiting to happen every time you get your hopes up, they bring you down, and that's what happens with the Cowboys. So, you know, CeeDee Lamb's still a stud. Listen, the Cowboys need to do a lot of things. You keep a couple guys. Number one, you keep CeeDee Lamb. You draft more receivers, okay? You need some more juice in this offense. You know, you had Amari Cooper for a little bit, and you let him go. You had Dalton Schultz. You had to let him go. So there's a lot of things right now, to me, with the Cowboys that you really got to work on and get fixed up. And I don't know if it gets any easier because I'm looking at the schedule from here on out. It's tough, man. It's a tough schedule. You got the Steelers coming up. That's not an easy game. You got to play the Giants again. I know the Giants are bad, and the record shows it, but Brian Daboll's excellent coach to me. And put some respect on his name, please. He's doing this with Danny Dimes or whatever the fuck his name is. He's trash, but whatever, okay? So you got to give the Giants some credit. So you play them. You play Washington, who I know the Hail Mary was crazy yesterday. I'm sorry, my family. Matt Schiffler, I'm talking to you guys. I know that it was a hard game to watch yesterday. A lot of dumb, boneheaded decisions. I didn't get the coaching, but whatever. Credit to Washington. They kicked your ass for 3 quarters. So, back on the Cowboys, I'm getting back to. So, I don't believe this is fixable for Dallas. I think you got to do a complete rebuild. Jerry needs to shut the fuck up, sit back, do something because it's not working. And it's reminded me a lot of Al Davis 2007 vibes when he was with the Raiders. And that was a dark, dark time after they lost the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers and Rich Gannon. So, on the Niners side, this was typical Niners fashion. They kicked your ass. They're physical. They're tough. Now, listen, their defense is not what it was a couple years ago. I will admit that. It's not. You can get big plays on them, get chunks. Their pass rush is not what it was when they had that 19 team that went to the Super Bowl. Should have won, is what it is. But they did have 4 rolling deep in that NASCAR package like the Giants had when they played Tom Brady, and they upset the Patriots, obviously. So, the Niners, to me, that felt like a great game last night. What I can't figure out with Dallas is, what the fuck was that? You came off a bye week, and Niners wasn't like a bunch of guys, and they still rushed for 223 on you. So there's something wrong in Dallas. I think that the run game, their defense isn't built the right way. They got an over-the-hill defense coordinator, Mike Zimmer, who's done a nice job, but just not there. So Niners last night, they get in a good headspace. They go on the bye week. They get some guys back. Hopefully Christian McCaffrey comes back. They have some momentum now. Okay, watch the tape, improve on what you did really well, and work on your weaknesses, and then get better there as a coach. So last night, to me, listen, how long does this group last with the Niners? I don't know. But you got to get this window. And I think the Niners, and I said this before the year, I picked the Rams to win the division, but the Niners were right behind them because the Niners, to me, even though the Rams got Matt Stafford and he's getting older, you have a lot of momentum in terms of the young roster that's there. Niners have an older team. Not to say it's a bad thing, but it's a lot of older players, a lot of wear and tear on those tires. They can break down more easily than the younger guys who, like the Rams have. So, very interesting stuff. And we will find out what happens. Fuck around, you're going to find out the next couple weeks or so in the NFC. It's getting tighter and tighter. So, I wanted to hop on, and I wanted to say this about Mike Kesnick's Lions. Listen, they are impressive to me. I love everything about this team. Their front office, they fit Dan Campbell. Tough, physical, resilient, passionate. God, they care. And I just, when I watch this, I wish the Raiders had this passion in this direction because it's just like the Lions are going rocket ship, and I'm bought into rocket ships. Go, go, go. And I'm in for it, okay? This team is loaded everywhere. I don't love the Hutchinson industry. That, to me, scares me. If they get close again, and I think they will, I think they're going to represent the NFC. Could I see them win the division? Absolutely. Green Bay is not far behind. Now they're 1-2 right now, and they do play in a couple weeks, so we'll see how that game transpires, how the season goes on for Green Bay. Praying for Jordan Love's health. They just got to get him, make sure he's okay, because it just doesn't look right. And I still blame the NFL for that bullshit they pulled first week of the season in Brazil, but I'm some dumbass in Indiana. The league office doesn't give a fuck about me. But besides the point. So, I still think the Lions win this division. I could see the Lions-Packers meeting in the playoffs. I really do. I think it's going to be in Detroit because I think Detroit's going to get home field. The way that it's shaping right now, it's got a long way to go. But for me right now, I'm putting Detroit number 1 seed. They get home field. Obviously, we saw how electric that crowd was against the Buccaneers and Rams last year in Detroit. So, I do believe that the Lions, they're just dominant. They kick your ass for 10 hours, and they just reflect what Dan Campbell is. And I am so impressed with them. And they, like I said, I think Goff is better than I thought. I've always liked Goff. I've said this before on here more than most people want to give credit to. But that's all I wanted to say tonight. I hope you guys are doing well today on this manic Monday. Hope we're doing well. Like I always say in my videos, hit the like, subscribe, share button. I'm going to be putting it all to my outlets. And talk to you guys soon. Have a great night.